Whoa, Jacob, how are you in two spots at once? That's crazy. But Jacob had a lot of fun out there in Van Buren this morning. Had a good job riling up the crowd there, getting the well, and not necessarily the crowd, but getting the cheerleaders and the coaches, players going. Now kickoff at 7 o'clock. The temperature will be 79 degrees. It'll be a warm one out there in Van Buren against the Southside Mavericks. But should be a nice night for football, no matter where you are in the region or whatever you're doing this Friday evening. We're going to see pretty nice conditions. Now in terms of right now in Van Buren, here's a look along I-40 at Highway 59 in the area. You can see mostly cloudy to cloudy skies in the background. Eventually, we're going to see that clearing of skies from west to east and seeing a lot more sunshine as we head towards sunset, which is at 6:37. So again, it's getting earlier and earlier. High temperatures will be in the mid 80s for the most part, so lower 80s in northwest Arkansas, and a little bit of a southerly breeze at about 5 to 15. For tonight, with that southerly wind, we're going to see more moisture build in. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 60s for lows. We'll have clear skies for much of the night, then clouds will build in late from the northwest. Could see an isolated storm, especially in western Benton County. Most of the area, though, is going to be dry. So right now, we're seeing a little bit of a very stray shower sprinkle, mostly on the eastern half of the region. You can see it really right here. Not a whole lot going on with this. Ooh, it's blue. I forgot to change that. That's on me. But you can see it's tracking off to the north and to the east. But generally speaking, what we have is a little bit of some warm air moving in from the south. So that's a little bit of that Gulf moisture there. And it's going to be colliding with a lot cooler and drier air with that cold front. Usually when you have those two kind of clash together, that's where you see usually the potential of maybe some storms because you have two different air masses kind of interacting with one another. Something's got to give. And it's going to be a pretty muggy day for us tomorrow. When you walk out the door during the morning before the storms arrive, it's going to be sticky. Dew points are going to be in the upper 60s, close to 70. And notice it's going to drop all the way to the 40s on Sunday. When you have that drastic of a shift, there's much drier air moving in, and it's just pretty strong front. And that's going to be the case for us tomorrow, so that's why there is the potential of severe weather. A level 2 out of 5 risk remains in effect for the entire 5 News coverage area. Could see hail up to ping pong ball size hail, up to 70-mile-per-hour winds. Tornado chance, it's a little bit low, but it's not necessarily zero. A little bit of a higher chance on the eastern half of the region. Timing has been narrowed down a little bit since yesterday, about 10 a.m. on our far northwestern edge to about 5 o'clock on our far eastern edge. So we'll show you what that looks like here on Futurecast. So the rest of the day today, we'll see those clouds clear out, and we'll see a very nice evening this evening. Again, football games, wherever you may be going, it's going to be a nice evening. Then as we head to tomorrow morning, you may notice a couple, again, very stray storms on our far northwestern edge. These would be marginally severe, maybe very small hail or gusty winds, but for the most part, it'll be on the quieter side for much of the area. Then 7 o'clock, see those storms mainly off to the northwest. But then around 9, 10 o'clock, starting to see these cells start to pop up, and this is where we could see some of those storms making its way here. So 11 o'clock, mostly on our northwestern edge. With initial cells as they develop, could see maybe more of a large hail threat because they're kind of by themselves. Then as it becomes a little bit more organized here, noon, now 1 o'clock, it's organized into a line, a wind threat may develop. So here's 1 o'clock, now 2 o'clock, starting to move through much of our western areas. And our northern areas, notice 2 o'clock right near kickoff for the Razorback game. So yes, it could be a wet one there. 3 o'clock, now moving through many of our central and eastern areas. You can see that stretch of that kind of linear pose, but again, still could see some tornadic activity embedded with this as well. 4 o'clock on our far eastern edge, and then 5 o'clock, the severe threat moves out, but notice there could still be some showers and a few rumbles of thunder behind that. That's not expected to be severe because that kind of takes up all the energy with that first wave, but still could see some showers and storms through about 10 o'clock. Then that clears out, and then we have a very quiet Sunday on the way with much of that drier and much cooler air on the backside. So notice high temperatures dropping about 15 degrees on Sunday, and we'll see low temperatures Sunday morning in the 40s. It does warm back up on Monday, a little bit of a breezy southerly wind, and then we go back to the low to mid 70s for highs, in the 50s and 40s for lows. So again, it's going to be feeling much more like fall, the official fall now starting on Sunday. But again, we're watching the potential of severe weather on Saturday. Know where your shelter is, both obviously at home, and if you're out and about, the best place to be would be in the lowest level of a building and the most interior room.
Yeah, and then we were talking about a second ago, but a lot of events, that the Poto Hot Air Balloon Festival, Big Sugar, Razorback football game,
yeah,
a lot of events this weekend.
Yeah, a lot of events this weekend. Unfortunately, it's just a tough timing with it, but again, stay safe. You can still go to those events, but just be safe and know where to go in case of severe weather.
Perfect. Thanks, Danny.